Hi, Mark here, and welcome to the Kensington Minute. In this Kensington Minute, we will examine the life of an obscure black communist nicknamed the Reddest of the Blacks. He was born in 1894 in Texas and attended the Tuskegee Institute in Alabama. He was a revolutionary before the Russian Revolution and embraced the communist revolution when it happened. He was a member of the International Workers of the World, the Wobblies, and the Harlem Socialist Party. He was a founding member of the Communist Party of the United States, the CPUSA. But he made enemies in the party. He had a prickly personality wherever he went. But being black, he was useful to this new party, so they sent him to the Soviet Union. But he made enemies there very quickly, too, and in very high places. Know who he was? He was Lovett Fort-Whiteman, a dedicated communist. In June 1924, he traveled to Moscow as one of the hundreds of foreign delegates to the Third International. He was there alongside of Ho Chi Minh and some fellow American communists. He was won over completely, believing that, in his words, the USSR had become the first state in history of the world to have actually saved the problem of racial discrimination. Some 12 years later, he moved to the Soviet Union and would never leave. He hoped to win over the Soviets to promote the rights of Americans, particularly American blacks, but Moscow showed very little interest, besides offering some righteous babble. In fact, the conditions he found in the Soviet Union were far worse than anything he found in America's segregated South. He talked about black nationalism and the mistaken belief that Moscow believed its own propaganda. The blacks were the vanguard of a global revolution, according to Moscow, words like that. Then somebody in the Soviet Union accused him of being a Trotskyist or a Trotskyite. NKV judge sentenced him to 5 years in Kolyma concentration camp, which was usually a death sentence for anybody. Well, it was a death sentence for him, and he died slowly and painfully. Kolyma was brutal even by the standards of Soviet concentration camps. Inmates dug for gold in the Arctic ice, sometimes with their bare hands that became gangrenous through frostbite. Fort-Whiteman died at age 44 of starvation and of the beatings he endured. He did not last 1 year. He was not the only American to suffer and perish in the vast Gulag system. Many of their names are lost to history. That's too bad. Their stories may exist on typed, crumbling, yellowing papers and archives scattered around the former Soviet Union. Oh, how I would love to have Hollywood make a movie about this man. I think it could be a good one and a fair one. But you would like to see it too, huh? This Kensington Minute does not represent the official position of the United States government. Take the Kensington Challenge. Out here.